the central atrium of the Museum of Fine Arts in Calais, and Shazia will introduce to us the works of Annette Messager.
Annette Messager is an artist, French artist, who was born in 1943 in Berck-sur-Mer, which is 60 kilometers south of Calais on the French coastline. It's very important for her to integrate the space where her work is being presented, and it creates a new piece every time on concepts as varied as migrants, the moving of populations today, the role of women in society as well, and they question how people react today concerning major political issues, but always with a little sense of humor and sarcasm. The bolsters that we see here, there's 420 of them, have come from a previous installation around the character of Pinocchio. It's a work that Annette presented in Venice for the Biennale of Contemporary Art in 2005, and she won the prize, the Lion of Gold, for this work on the character of Pinocchio. In this piece, I think Annette was also reflecting upon the very difficult realities of refugees who have arrived in Calais, notably, and unfortunately do not have the means of the most simple hygienic possibilities while they are trying to find refuge. Here we see the use, once again, of a textile that is very important for the region of Calais because it is tulle, or netting, which is created on the Lever's lace machines, is very important for the textile region of the north. At the same time, there's references in this work to the work of the French artist Edgar Degas and his sculpture on the ballerina. Behind me are the chimera. These works were originally created by Annette in the 1980s. Due to some water damage, she had to reorganize these works, resave them, and so at that moment she decided to present them in a completely different manner from that previously. Before they were each presented as individual elements. Now you see there's a photo montage where these elements are overlapping, covering up one another. The technique at the base are large photographs that are glued onto a tarlatan ground and then are repainted. They represent very different types of elements. There's everyday classical objects, but there's also hybrid monsters, hybrid creations from Annette's imagination. And that is where the word chimera comes from. Here we have 3 map mundi that are inflating and deflating at a regular rhythm. And upon these 3 worlds that are painted in a very quick, colorful type of manner, you have different puppets that are attached and that they're unable to determine their own willpower. They're attached to the movement of the world. Some are lifeless, some are being crushed by the worlds, some are floating. It's also, of course, very relevant to actual world politics today. This is a work that is in reference to the fact that today, in our world, basically everything is regulated. And of course, Annette is an artist of 1968, May 1968. It is prohibited to prohibit, and here is Annette's answer to that citation. Annette Messager, when we invited her to present her work in the 2 museums of Calais, was of course very interested in the themes that we present at the Museum of Lace, and we have a very important collection of lingerie. So this lingerie inspired her to create these totemic figures, these anthropomorphic figures that you see behind me. Here we see some inspiration that is a little bit more magical, where the importance of women, that long hair was always referred to as a type of power that women had, and sometimes even considered as diabolical power. So once again, Annette is addressing the issue of stereotypes that we can have concerning women in society today. So you can discover 15 installations here at the Fine Arts Museum, and then when you arrive at the Lace Museum, there are 5 more installations. We're in the gallery consecrated to handmade lace at the Lace Museum. And here you see an installation by Annette Messager that is dedicated in homage to the seamstresses. It's called The Phantoms of the Seamstresses, and you have 50 different elements that are all tools of the trade, scissors, needles, pins, very humble objects that produce very exquisite needlework. And the idea was to associate every time an artist with an artisan in the creation of a piece. And so here Annette did a drawing that was an anatomy, from an anatomy book. So you see the veins, the blue and red veins of a person. And then Mylène Salvadoros interpreted the drawing of Annette with the lace, bobbin lace making technique. And the Odyssey is also about the lace machines coming from England, arriving to France. That lace is associated with fashion. That fashion today is also associated with marketing, with the idea of you have to sell. So sex sells as well. So you see all these ideas that are intermingled.
We're in the Lace Museum, and Christophe is about to tell us more.
Here you have a Lever's lace machine. It's a weaving machine that works on the technology of jacquard punch cards. What you see all the way on the other end of the machine are these cardboard punch cards, the holes and the empty spaces. They are the ones that control the movement of the machine in order to create the motifs on the lace machine. There's more than 11,000 threads that are put through these small holes in these long ribbons. These ribbons move back and forth, and at the same time there's a bobbin that moves on this side and then entangles the threads one among another to create the motifs. This is a very unique technology. It makes the highest quality of lace, called lace of Calais Caudry, and it is an technological innovation of Nottingham in England.
I do hope you enjoyed the installations that we managed to bring to you. If you'd like to see the remainder, you need to pop in and have a look for yourself.